All right, what's going on, man? All right, so I want to start a little segment. For those that don't know, I'm a big Knick fan since '92. Die-hard Knicks fan since '92. Knicks fan since basically I started watching basketball in '88. I'm going to naturally root for my hometown team. So I want to start a segment called the Optimistic Knick Fan, and then this is where I ran on Knick Fan because one thing about it is I'm optimistic yet objective Knicks fan, and a lot of times I feel like the Knicks, or I think that the Knicks, get the short end of the stick when it comes to fair coverage, things like that. And at the end of the day, the Knicks have to. If the Knicks ever going to win a championship, I feel like the Knicks just have to go out and take it. But I feel like I think. Man, I don't like to say I feel like it. But what I think is a lot of the times the Knicks' problems are caused by the Knicks. It's caused by the media. At the end of the day, if the Knicks ever going to win a championship, they're going to have to go and snatch what? They're going to have to go snatch it. They're going to have to get the best player. They're going to have to get the best team. So right now, we play a team where I think is really showing to be the second best team, maybe the third if you're going to put Boston ahead. They've had a couple of battles with OKC already. So the Knicks are going to play the Cavaliers tonight, and they've had a couple of battles with OKC, and I think they were split. I think it was. At this point, you got one team that's 60 and 50, the other one 62 and 63 and 12. So that's historic to have two teams that probably could win close to over 67 games. Last time that happened, I believe last time you had two teams that win 66 games in the same season. You got to go back to '96 when the Bulls and the Sonics, and lo and behold, those two teams met in the finals. But the Knicks get a tough measuring stick, and again, they're not. I don't expect that they're 10.5 point dogs, so I don't expect them to win. I don't think it's a measuring stick game where I think if the Knicks played very solid, especially coming on the back to back and being short-handed as they are, But one thing I want people to understand, right? Cleveland and I a lot of people, the prognosticators had Cleveland as, and also ran team. Nobody really thought before the season they could be good. I said, no, Cleveland could be good. Now, did I see 60 wins, 65, 67 wins, whatever they're going to wind up with coming? No, I did not. Right? I did not. But I did think they were going to be a good team because here's the thing. This is the thing, right? In this day and age where, free agency breaks up teams a lot, you don't have a lot of continuity. Cleveland has continuity. Since they got Donovan Mitchell, this roster has been together for a few years, right? The core group of players have been together for years. So right now, that core of Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, and Allen have been together for a few years. And when you see them, I think I relate it to being a good chain. The Cleveland Cavaliers have a good chain going on. Like when you see them play offensively and defensively, they're in tune. The guy, Donovan Mitchell took a step back in scoring, which unfortunately has sacked his MVP consideration. He should definitely be in the top 5. I actually would vote him 4 or 5, but it's one of those situations where you see less is more. So he doesn't have to go out and get 28, and they're a much better team, right? He can sit there and, like everybody, they don't have wasted motion on that team. And that's where, in contrast, I think the Knicks could get there quickly, but they're not there yet. And I had posted something on a good point on Jalen Brunson today. And, some Knicks fans will take that as criticism, take that as I'm hating on the guy. No. I defend Brunson a lot. I like Brunson. As a captain, definitely deserves it. He deserves all the praise he gets. But there's a legit criticism in this game where he is a little too ball dominant. And see one thing to realize, I am not a guy who does stance, who takes stats and makes points. I make points and take stats. But when I see a stat that proves what I think, what I see, you know, they apparently measure dribbles per touches. And dribbles per touches, right? Touches, dribble touches, passes. They measure all of these little fine point stats, fine point things about the stats. And, you know, for 3 straight years, he leads the league in dribbles per touches, which means he gets the ball and he's doing them. And again, that's part of what makes him a great scorer. But the thing is, I say this, a point guard's A1 job is to make other players into scorers. And that's the thing that happens in this NBA. Again, look at what's going on with Donovan Mitchell. He scaled back on the scoring. Everybody else on the team is eating. So when it comes down to it, the Knicks have a starting 5 that produces 26. One guy produces 26, damn near 27. The other guy produces damn near 25 in Towns. Another guy, 2 guys that produce 18, and then you got Josh Hart, who does Mr. Do Everything at 14. Now, the key to the thing with the Knicks is the bench. So, yeah, the idea that is like, as you've seen since he went down, and people could say, oh, the Knicks they've only beaten one team over 500. They're 8-5. They lost 3 games to over 500 teams. That's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is that the players individually are playing better. Like OG and Anunoby and Mikal Bridges have been unlocked. The stats show it. And again, not that they were playing bad before, but they're just playing better without Brunson. And again, this is the thing. It's not to say that we don't need Brunson to be the point guard. No, we need him just to play more like a point guard. It's not like we're trying to say the team is better without Brunson, because no, they're not. That's not the point. But the point is, if Brunson changed a little bit about his game, then it would enhance the other player's game. That's the thing about basketball. It's you guys look at it, a lot of times you guys look at it as games of one-on-one. It's not one-on-one. The players, one thing that I always say, they say, this guy makes everybody around him better, and that's the most overused, that's just a cliche that's used way too damn much now. It's not too many people that make players around them better. You really have to have a certain amount of chemistry, and that's the thing. It's like everybody's just using that, right? They say that about LeBron, they say that about Luka and stuff like that, and when it comes down to it, those guys, again, they get their numbers. And yes, they do help certain players. They do, but when I look at it, and this is the thing, I made the point that Tyler Kolek, the guys in the second unit, because he is such a great passer, right? He is such a great passer. The guys in the second unit are all producing more. They're just naturally producing more because Tyler, the creator, is getting them the ball where they need it. And that's the thing. That's really, when you got guys like OG and Anunoby, and I think sometimes maybe you need to watch film. That's other criticism I have about players. They don't watch enough film. They don't get better at their craft. Again, Brunson's a terrific player. This is not to knock on him. Everybody can get better. Everybody can be criticized. He's gotten better since he's been in the league. He's gotten better since he picked up a basketball. And this is one thing. It's just see how the guards around. And again, that's the thing. OG has the ball more. Bridges has the ball more. And they're not guys that are going to dribble the air out of the ball. Again, you guys want to... So for Knicks fans, they used to say this about Randall, right? Knicks fans say this about Randall a lot. Not realizing that Randall actually did create for others. His game, and that's part of what the Knicks are missing, having a power forward who can go out there and score like that. OG's not that guy. And on top of that, he can't rebound like Randall. So, again, he can defend better than Randall, one-on-one. But he's not a better player than Randall. And that's something we got to understand this. We got to understand. And on top of that, now he gets paid more. And, again, I'm not criticizing OG. The guys on the ball said that the offense should be running through OG, and that's a mistake because OG's not a creator. He's a finisher. Some guys are finishers. Some guys are Tom Brady. Some guys are Randy Moss. Some guys are Rice. Some guys are Montana. The quarterback is supposed to create. The quarterback is supposed to pass to the receivers. OG Anunoby is more of a receiver. He's not a guy that you want dribbling, taking too many dribbles. He's not a guy that's a creator. You see, I mean, he's not a guy that's going to make too many assists. He's not, it's not. That's not who he is, and that's fine because that's the thing. It's like asking, are you going to ask Mobley to get 7 assists a game? No, it's not what he is. So you're going to see a contrast. And again, I just want the Knicks to come out and play competitive because I think we're probably going to be outgunned if we don't if Brunson doesn't play and if Mitchell Robinson doesn't play. We're going to be outgunned. Hopefully Karl-Anthony Towns plays. But we're still probably going to be outgunned. But I want to see us play with these guys. And at that point, I'll know in a playoff series, we can still, because when you look at the Knicks at full strength, there's no way that we're behind. There's no way that we're behind them talent-wise, Cleveland. We're not. This is that same roster, most of that same roster was there 2 years ago when we beat them 4-1 in the gentleman's sweep. So, mind you, I believe we were the 5th seed, so therefore we went and won game 1 in Cleveland, won game 2, and then won the rest of the series. I mean, lost game 2 and won the rest of the series. I believe that's how that series went. So at the end of the day, yeah, man, this is gonna show. Now the other thing I want to get into is the KD situation. I was asked to the Knicks trade for KD. Hell no. This is not a knock on KD. It's not a knock. He's 37. He's gonna be 37 years old come September. Obviously that would be the time. He won't play a game to the Knicks until he is 37. He'll probably if the Knicks did trade him. I mean, you're asking for too much. You're asking for Bridges and a Hart, combine their contracts and some other players. It's just not worth. It's not worth it. To get one player like KD, who again, there's no guarantee he's going to even last a season at 37. I understand what he is, and I understand that he's a player that could. No, we're not. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. We don't need it. We don't need KD. I know guys. It's just leave it alone. Again, we don't need another. We don't need 3 guys because I would assume you're not trading Towns or Brunson, obviously, and you're gonna be in a situation where Phoenix is, where you got 3 guys that score 25, but those guys are not gonna score 25 because it's one ball. The offense will look great. Defense will take another huge step back. Leave that alone. So, that's kind of what I wanted to rant about. I probably should have. That's what I wanted to rant about because at the end of the day, like I said, the Knicks have a chance to do something. I think that's one of the key things is the Knicks have not played their best basketball yet. We've played great basketball this year. We've been a good team. We haven't played to our potential, and I think one of the keys to unlocking the potential is Jalen Brunson being more of a creator than a scorer. We don't need him getting 30. I mean, it will be nice when we need him to get his 30. So I'm saying, it will be nice we need him to dig in and score, but be more, especially in these first quarters, man. Get Bridges involved, get OG involved. Make sure these guys should get 15 every night. Both of them should get 15 every night. And I think Brunson being a more just dribbling less, playing faster, getting the ball out there more. That's a legit criticism, and it's not 8. So that's all I got.